Yes, lads, joebiline here, and welcome to episode 9 of the free-to-play Road to Glory. And some big things are going in this episode. So we had Thanksgiving, we had Flash Sale, we've got Weekend League, we've got trading investments, we've got a lot. Flash Sale, I was going to hold it off waiting to do this video until after Flash Sale that concluded on the Monday. I've had so much footage already, I thought we'll have the conclusion of that in the next episode. So we did manage to get the double points token. So we finished the day of Black Friday with 300 Flash Sale points. We're in a good position on Monday to get a pretty nice player. World Class 1 rewards were in. We had weekend tournament to go, and it was an Antonio Valencia right wing back player this week, and it was also the Navigator Team Hero card. And I was tempted. I was thinking, you know what, I may actually grind out and use some of my FIFA points that I've been saving up to actually use it on playing numerous weekend tournaments. However, this week, rather than giving you stamina for paying for entry, they give you coins instead. So you get 50,000 coins rather than getting 15 stamina. And I realised when they changed that, yeah, it's nice. For the majority of people, for most weeks, coins are definitely better for people. But this weekend, every piece of stamina I had was going, every piece of spare stamina I had was going into Team Hero, was going into Flash Sale on the Friday. And then the rest of it was going into Thanksgiving to get that Team Howard card. So that meant that I just didn't have the spare stamina left over to be able to spend extra on weekend tournament. I could only barely just use it as it was. But I was like, okay, we'll just do the one go. Cater, we'll have to hold him off, and we'll have to go for a bonus player in the future, obviously, where then points build up. But this week was quite successful because, like I say, I was going to originally try and do numerous tournaments to get that Cater Team Hero card. I decided not to live con my weekend tournament, and it ended up being my most successful one so far. Maybe being able to just concentrate on the game without having to commentate at the same time potentially helped. Maybe it was just because my team's getting better now and better teams are moving up divisions, so it allowed me to have more even games. There was one game I came up against. He had a 90 rated squad, and I was like, oh, here's a loss incoming. 10 seconds into the game, he scored an own goal. Scored a few more own goals, and I was like, okay, this is nice. Praise the FIFA mobile gods. I've matched up with somebody who's currently demoting, because obviously weekend tournament you play it inside versus attack, so you're not necessarily coming against other people who are actually playing weekend tournament at the moment. They may just be playing versus attack naturally themselves. I do hope in the future that they find a way so when you're in weekend tournament, you're only playing others in weekend tournament. It should then create closer matchups, so you're not potentially coming against others. Maybe you like it the way it is at the moment. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you like having the chance of potentially coming up against people who are actually just playing versus attack, so you may get lucky with a demoter playing, or do you prefer to only play people who are also playing weekend tournament at the same time? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Interesting to see how you feel about that one. I'm a bit swayed either way. I think for the sake of purity and just making sense, you should only be playing people who are playing weekend tournament at the same time. But it has swings and roundabouts. Like I say, I got a free win essentially because some guy was just, you know, he was demoting, so I got a free win essentially out of it. I won't complain. It could have gone the other way around, and he could have been somebody who wasn't demoting, and I could have got thrashed while he was climbing. Either way, as more people go into the divisions and get into the division they should be, I'm just hoping you'll match up with more equal opponents in terms of fan counts, because I've seen a lot of people getting matched up like with fans a few hundred thousand higher, like those ones in the FIFA Champion, because there's not that many FIFA Champions yet. They are seeping down and end up getting searched against people below. That should sort out with itself in time. It's a shame, obviously, really, if it happens to you, but over time it should go away. It's just early while everyone's sort of finding their positions, so that's okay. Now moving into this game, we was ready ahead. He was just hot on our tails, but it was going well. We were unstoppable. We'd lost like one game and all the others we were winning, and I was feeling confident this week. The ID was on form in the top. Moving Rashford out over onto the right was a godsend move, because obviously your right winger gets more action, and Rashford, such a good card. I'm so thankful I packed him, because he is very, very good. Ronaldo's slowly improving and he's out on the left anyway, so he's not as important. But that was that. We went into the final game. We had got 2 losses now, and we needed 1 more win to get the 10th win. And we managed to put away against Natannat. He was on our tails. We got a 7th goal, and I was thinking that should be it now. We had just in time chance to try and get an 8th, just to wrap it up, because we knew there was no chance, and we had secured it. Took us 3 weeks, but on the 3rd week we got the wins required. Obviously it was only 10 wins this week instead of 12. Could we have got to 12 potentially? I'm not complaining though. We got the 10 we needed, and we'd secured ourselves the weekend league win. So we got the skill boost, we got the training XP, and we've got ourselves Valencia. Now we don't necessarily need to use Valencia in our team as a right wing back. We don't need that, and our right back's already better in terms of boosts, so we don't need to use Valencia. But he's going to be nice to store there should we ever move to a 5-back formation, because you never know. We're still early days in this FIFA mobile season. At some point we could decide that 5 at the back is good again and we need to use 5 at the back. And we've got ourselves a right wing back for should we ever need one in the future. And heck, when they make it so untradeable players and special players like that can be used as XP, we'll have it there. So this was it all just to round off our flash sale ending on the Friday night. So yeah, we finished Friday night. We didn't miss a single one. We set some alarms in the morning to make sure we got them in. I was actually up early for work, so I managed to get the first round, which was only about an hour and a half long rather than the 3 hours. And then with it being Friday night, I didn't have work on the Saturday. I stayed up till the 2 a.m. Did it and then went straight to bed afterwards. And then over the weekend there's been the 2 more 10 points on the Saturday and Sunday, so that's 320 points we're on. My plan is to try and get the double boost straight away. I got it lucky and got it first time last time, so I didn't have to spend any FIFA points, but if required I'll spend a couple 50 FIFA points to get that double boost, because we can potentially get ourselves a team hero or an icon card out of this, because on the first round they were 400 points and we're at 320 now. So we only need 80. We just need to hope that they don't happen too early in the cycle to make sure that we can get ourselves a big player to bring in, because that's going to help us a lot. Team hero card, if it's a team hero card, one in a position that we need, well, pretty much any apart from left wing will be what we want. Striker, I'm liking Dide, but a striker would be a high rated anyway. So that would be cool, and it's going to unlock that path on Ronaldo as well, so that would be great. An icon, it was Maldini on the Friday. If Maldini pops up again, it'd be hard to refuse Maldini. So I'm using him on my main account. He's very, very good indeed. It's just, do I want an icon or do I want a team hero? And are they going to happen once I've already got to the 400 points? That's what I need to happen. As I was saying, I was using all the rest of my stamina apart from what I needed for League versus League and daily activities and the flash sale on the Friday on Thanksgiving, getting them ads in. Like I said a few times, if you don't get adverts, it's not EA's fault, it's advertisers' fault for just not wanting to pay to show you adverts. And obviously a time like this, more people are using adverts than usual, so adverts are going to run out for what advertisers are going to pay. You can try restarting your app using VPNs. I know some people do to try and trick it, but if ads aren't showing up, it's just because advertisers aren't wanting to pay to your demographic, which is a shame. But hey, if someone doesn't want to pay to show an advert to you, then that's their choice. It's a shame, but it's how it works. We managed to get the points required. We'd got to the 9,000 points and 50, and it was time to start working our way through the cycles, because what we wanted to do was to keep track of making sure we'd got enough points. I wanted to get all the points, the 9,050 points, before starting on the actual tree. On the branches, should I say, of the nodes, just so I could keep track easier rather than lose count thinking, okay, I've done them, let's minus this, add this. And then we pulled ourselves Titty in the player pack, and I was like, yes, that's what is he, about 400 or 500k? I was considering using him, but then I looked at his stats compared to the players I already had, and he wasn't actually better, so I was like, okay. And then we got Radu, and I thought, I bet he's about 40k or so. That's a nice addition as well. So we've made about 500k from the Thanksgiving packs, and obviously you get about 200 odd k from the coin tree. We've got some XP, got some skill boosts, and we've got ourselves this 85 rated Howard card, and I think I've got +2 or +3 boosts already on his skill boost, so that'll take him up to 88. And I've been using Howard on my main account, and he's very, very good. He's actually better than than the campaign Buffon. So take that for what you want, if you've got him or not. A bit late now going for it if you're watching, unless you're going to spend FIFA points. But yeah, Titi listed him at 475,000 coins. Phil Jones, obviously, who you remember the other day we invested in, we paid 40k or under for all these Phil Jones, and he's going for just over 60k. So that's 20k per profit per card on, it was either 11 or 12 Phil Jones we picked up in the end. 20k profit on every single one of them. That's a nice little earner. So after selling these cards, we had made quite a bit of bang, but because they all sold on the first time of listing, so we're at 779k. We claimed the Umtiti, we claimed the Redo, and then we're at 1.27. Now it's time to bring in all our investments, and Team Heroes is working so well. I would recommend, if you guys are getting on it, do it. Have a look at the prices, like with a few days coming up, because you can see who the next Team Heroes are going to be. Check who they are, check the prices. Then about a couple of hours after the event, check the ones you've had your eye on and see how far they've dropped. Phil Jones, I was looking at him, he was about 80, 90k, 80 to 100k before it started, dropped down to 40 and below, and then I cashed out at 60. I could have waited a few days, he may have rose a bit higher, but I decided to not be greedy and cash out at 20k. So it was at just shy of 2 million coins, and it was time. I did the calculations, and it worked out I needed to go up 5 overalls across my team to get up to 86. So I invested 2 in Didi because he's class, 2 in Lalic because he's a commanding force. I'm so happy I pulled him. He's been playing really, really well for me. And I thought, just to make the little switchy icon go away, although it's not shown at the moment, I would do it on Falatars 1-on-1, and that took us up to an 86 rated. Pretty pleased with that. We'll have the next episode in a couple of days once we've got the flash sale sorted out and all of that, and see who we're bringing to the team, because it's going to be a big addition coming to the team. So leave a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new here, come follow me on Twitter at joebilinehd, and I'll see you all later. Peace.